Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that takes the lead in today's edition for Friday 31st May 2024 and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillean Group. Small island developing states need climate justice. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Welcome back. Small island developing states, SIDS, bear a significant brunt of the adverse effects of climate change. Glenn Bart of SKN Newsline reports.
It is known, for example, that SIDS contribute only 1% of global emissions of greenhouse gases. Dealing with the consequences of climate change for SIDS is about issues of resilience in the face of more frequent and more powerful storms, reduced rainfall and drought, unexpected heat waves, and for some islands, dealing with sea level rise. According to Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, currently attending a summit of SIDS in St. John's, Antigua, there has been some progress made on some issues, but SIDS will continue to press for climate justice.
We have seen some progress. I must start out by saying that, for example, loss and damage is not being considered. The MDVI, multi-dimensional vulnerability index, is a means to access financing instead of just GDP alone. We have made significant strides, and those things have opened up some doors in getting us some resources. However, much more need to be done. Just for St. Kitts and Nevis alone, to pay for adapting to climate change is billions of dollars, and what we have gotten is just a drop in the bucket is what is required.
The Prime Minister is urging citizens and residents to take climate change seriously, as he indicated how expensive adapting to major shifts in climate patterns can become.
And I want all people to take this extremely seriously. I think recently we saw in May, we have heat waves in May, which is unheard of. At least our people should start thinking that climate change is real. Water situation in St. Kitts and Nevis with significant decrease in overall rainfall that's affecting our sources and access to potable water. And we had to drill in Kayon, and we have launched 2 desal plants across the Federation in collaboration with UAE, and we are about to launch a St. Kitts desal plant of $2 million. And we continue to drill for water. So water has become scarce. The other matter is energy. We had blackouts recently, and that happens because as the temperature rose, people then start to use their fans more, air conditioners more, and that caused a glitch at the power station. We were expecting a rise in temperature, but we're expecting it 2 months later. So we have already put something in place to increase our generation capacity. However, it came in May. No one could have predicted that. Again, the unpredictability of climate change and how it's affecting us and the cost. It is extremely expensive. This climate change, adapting to climate change, can bankrupt countries. It can bankrupt St. Kitts and Nevis as well. But it's quite expensive. The millions we are spending on desal plants and drilling and so forth. Had we not had climate change, that money could have been used for something else. But we have to now spend it, and it's causing tremendous economic strain on all of us, and that is why we need climate justice so that we can access resources in order to adapt.
Already, Caribbean residents have been told that the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is likely to be more severe than usual. Climate experts have repeatedly warned that greenhouse gases are causing long-term changes to global climate patterns. Glenn Bart reporting for SKN Newsline.
Haiti has a new prime minister as the international community vows to help the impoverished Caribbean nation torn by gang warfare to revert to law and order.
After months of severe conflict on the Caribbean island nation of Haiti, that country does now have a new prime minister. UN Development Specialist Gary Connell named Haiti's new prime minister yesterday. Connell served briefly as the Haitian prime minister from October of 2011 to February of 2012 and then resigned after clashing with then-President Michel Martelly. The move comes as gangs continue to terrorize the capital of Port-au-Prince, opening fire in once peaceful neighborhoods and using heavy machinery to demolish several police stations and prisons.
And we're very thankful for your government's support to Haiti, not only after the earthquake, but for years and years, and we're grateful for the opportunity to have these discussions.
Former U.S. President Bill Clinton and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton both in attendance at the announcement yesterday. The former Secretary of State remarking that she is honored to welcome Connell and that the leaders in Haiti are working hard for the benefit of the Haitian people.
Jamaica's fifth Prime Minister, the late Edward Seaga's legacy continues to be honored with a floral tribute in Kingston on the occasion of what would have been his 94th birthday. More in this Courtney Lewis CVM News report.
Floral tributes were laid at Edward Seaga's gravesite in the National Heroes Park in Kingston on Tuesday. Dignitaries, family members, and citizens attended the brief ceremony, reflecting the nation's enduring respect and admiration for the late leader's contributions to Jamaica's development. As Prime Minister from 1980 to 1989, Seaga's influence extended beyond politics, having a lasting effect on the country's cultural and economic landscape.
Papa Eddie, Mr. Eddie, Uncle Eddie, had an unusually deep understanding of the impact of culture on every aspect of national survival and national development. And this was at the core of the policies and programs he developed and the institutions he created.
Honoring his predecessor, Prime Minister Andrew Holness further highlighted Seaga's accomplishments as, quote, the visionary builder of institutions.
Due to his vision and foresight, many institutions were created. In 1967, the Jamaica Citizens Bank, the first majority-owned commercial bank. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, the Students' Loan Bureau. Mr. Seaga was instrumental in that development. The Heart Trust NSTA National Training and Service Agency.
Adding to the day's honors, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie shared his appreciation for the former Labour leader in the Parliament later in the afternoon.
I will forever cherish what he has done for me and thousands of Jamaicans, and especially the people of West Kingston.
Meantime, as the nation celebrates Mr. Seaga's life and contribution, some also remember the leader as being among the first to help define the Jamaican Constitution and tackle concerns around the ongoing debate of dual citizenship. Courtney Lewis for CVM News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
In association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Barbados' Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley has been engaging in discussions at the 4th International Conference on Small Island Developing States, SIDS-4. One of those was a high-level meeting on mobilizing resources for SIDS. During that session, she raised the issue of the World Bank's graduation policy based on a country's gross domestic product per capita. She described it as an inappropriate metric. More in this CBC News item.
It means that you're not seeing us, you're not hearing us, and you're prepared to render a situation where climate migration will be the future of those of us, because we will not be able to survive in our islands if we have to choose. You cannot finance education and health with 50 loans. And we have an international financial system that pushes us in that direction. My brother Ralph will not forgive me if I did not speak from here as to the consequences of seeking to move countries like St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica, Grenada, and St. Lucia out of the bottom base of IDA funding so that they will be required to pay greater interest rates at the same time as they wonder what 2024 hurricane season will bring to them. It is wrong.
Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has instructed Finance Minister Colm Imbert to proceed with the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority, TTRA. Dr. Rowley was responding to questions on the government's position if the Public Service Association, PSA, intends to go to the Privy Council to challenge the constitutionality of the TTRA. Dr. Rowley said the PCA is attempting to prevent the government from collecting revenues that have been earned already. He said it is costing the government millions of dollars to defend itself in the matter.
Because we have to pay expensive lawyers to go to the court, and they know that they...
Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has instructed Finance Minister Colm Imbert to proceed with the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority, TTRA. Dr. Rowley is responding to questions on the government's position if the Public Services Association intends to go to the Privy Council to challenge the constitutionality of the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority Act after the inauguration of the Overwatch Cyber Fusion Center on Wednesday.
I am a little disappointed at the poor level of leadership at the PSA. And I'm just saying to the country here, if the PSA and politicians continue to stand in the way of the government's reasonable actions of trying to ensure that our revenue streams are robust, we are going to end up in a situation in the not too distant future where the government's revenues will be insufficient to pay our bills.
Dr. Rowley said the PSA is attempting to prevent the government from collecting revenue that had been earned already. He said it is costing the government millions of dollars to defend itself in the matter.
Because we have to pay expensive lawyers to go to the court, and they know that they're going to lose. But everybody's on a delay strategy. Let us delay it, hoping that certain people will get into government and it will never come into being. But my position is, if they are successful in this, when we don't collect the revenues to run the country, and we reach a point where we cannot service the country, all of them, right, will not be able to help anybody here.
In a release on Tuesday, Minister of Finance Colm Imbert said the Court of Appeal unanimously dismissed an appeal by the PSA over the constitutionality of the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority Act.
Over $3 million have been distributed in agro-incentive grants to 31 farmers as part of the Agriculture Finance Support Program. Also, as the hurricane season approaches, the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority says it's a matter of being prepared and mitigating the risk. Andrea Perez-Sobers tells us more in this CNC3 Business Watch.
Agriculture, Land and Fisheries Minister Kazim Hussein distributed over $3 million in agro-incentive grants to 31 farmers. The 31 grant recipients represent a diverse cross-section of the agricultural sector, including small-scale farmers and large agri-businesses. In his address on Monday to the farmers, Hussein highlighted the broader economic implications of the grant, noting that it extends far beyond immediate financial support. He notes by fostering a culture of innovation and efficiency, the sector is paving the way for TNT to become a leader in the Caribbean's agro-industry. The minister says this initiative is a cornerstone of government's efforts to achieve food security, reduce the import bill, and open new avenues for export. The funds will be used for various innovative projects such as state-of-the-art irrigation systems, hydroponic systems, solar panel installations, shade houses, and farm improvements to meet good agricultural practices standards, investments in new breeding stock for livestock, and advanced fishing equipment. On September 6, 2017, Hurricane Irma devastated Antigua and Barbuda. Between the two islands, there was an estimated US $250 million in damage. Antigua and Barbuda's Tourism Authority Chief Executive Officer Colin James says, with climate change, the hurricanes are intensifying rapidly and the islands just have to be prepared.
We can't prevent them from coming, but we can certainly mitigate against the risk. And what we have shown over the years in Antigua and Barbuda is the ability to bounce back and to bounce back quickly. When you look at the devastation in Barbuda that took place in 2017, and what we see in Barbuda today, the renaissance with the Barbuda Ocean Club, with Nobu, with just what's happening in growth, the new airport that's been built and constructed in Barbuda, you have seen that your size does not affect your ability to be creative.
James was speaking to Business Watch during CHT's marketplace in Montego Bay, Jamaica last week. Andrea Perez-Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.